Ah yes, the sweet sounds of grinding metal. This sound and these smells will basically be my life for the next week. This is not a video I expected to make, and it's not work that I expected to do.
You never know what kind of goodies the previous person left for you. I didn't know about this goodie until right now. Spray foam and aluminum tape. Nice. Sweet. We needed more things to do.
However, this has turned into a full-blown restoration. From the rig that we once built in 100 days, it is now a shell and will be fully restored to become the best version of itself. But to do that, we have to get right down to the bones, to the guts, and get rid of everything that might plague this truck in the future. And for us in the Pacific Northwest, the number one enemy is rust. And in this case, it was a lot more extensive than we once believed.
Oh, no spray foam on this side.
Really?
No, this side's fiberglass.
Done by two different people?
I guess. This, seriously looks like a gutter. This metal looks like the metal off a white gutter. This is absolutely from a gutter. And they used small wood screws. I mean, it certainly lasted a long time, so, you know, a little DIY innovations. Pretty questionable ones, but worked, I guess. I don't know how long it was there, but I noticed it had been repaired because it was black, but I didn't notice that it was a gutter. This side's actually not as bad.
No.
Not sure what we'll do with the other side because it's I gotta cut out the back of the rocker on the other side too, so might be like a whole piece of square tube that goes in there. I don't know. This certainly looks like a gutter. Look at this little origami piece that someone did with the aluminum tape. I gotta be careful. This is super sharp. Look at this. It's a little aluminum tape gutter origami rocker. Oh, that is most definitely a gutter. Look, it's still got the... It's gotta be a gutter. Wow, that was a creative project somebody did.
Oh man, there's no rocker. There's nothing left behind there.
No.
The deeper you go, the more
I'm done going deep. I'm deep enough.
Now let me be clear. I have very limited experience with rust repair or fabrication really in general, in the grand scheme of things and the other fabricators you see online. I'm just the type of person that dives headfirst into the unknown and figures it out along the way. I've long since lived by the philosophy, design beyond your skill sets, and then raise your skills to meet your design. And that's exactly what's going on here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn and figure it out along the way and do things to the best of my ability. I'm also willing to ask for help, and I'm lucky enough to have friends that are willing to do so. Jason, who owns West Can Overland, has long since been a supporter and sponsor of this channel. This is the shop that we're in, and he has a decade worth of experience on me. Okay, I just figured that was the strongest part of the cab. Our friend William is also a talented fabricator with his own business. So with their expertise and looking over my shoulder, I think we'll be able to figure it out. But as always, you don't know what you don't know. And I had no idea what I was going to find when I continued to dig in to the rust on this cab.
All kinds of stuff. I routed this brake line through the cab, which at the time felt really fancy, but now it's completely in the way. So I'm just gonna buzz this off because I'm probably gonna redo this fender well. What I should see William lift the back. Hey, did it totally buckle in the middle or what?
No, there's not enough weight, I think, for it to.
I don't know.
It might.
A
See
6-inch
down
body
there?
lift right there.
You're gonna have to do a lot of this, eh?
That's what I'm kind of worried about, is like the backside. I might.
Because the piece of wood's sitting on it,
So.
and you're probably gonna have to replace all
You cut that 4x4 so it's not sticking out in your way. Or
those. Yeah,
just-
because you're only supported by the middle right now.
Well, should we just do the two swivel jacks in the middle then?
There you go. Nothing's touching. None. You have access to
That was the idea. Okay, so I gotta cut out the back of this rocker as well. So I'm just gonna mark another 1 inch down from the top here. And then the plan is 2.5 inch square tube, thin wall. And we'll just get it on like an angle, kind of like that, so it doesn't look quite so blocky. But the nice thing is we're not going for factory, so I don't mind just a square tube right there. It'll make, we could form a piece here, but this is just gonna give us the exact same result pretty much. And we'll be able to just weld the back side right onto what I cut off here. So I'll cut a straight line on the back, on both sides, and then we'll have to go pick up some square tube. And then we'll just form a little piece on the front there. And that'll be the rockers. So yeah, I think we're safe to cut like to about 1.5 inches here. So I think we can do it. Let's see.
With the talking out of the way, it is time to start cutting. And cutting. And keep cutting until there is no rust left. Then we're going to have to fill any holes. And I believe there's going to be many. I gotta ask you guys, because I'm curious, would you have tackled a project like this? Or would you have seen the rust and just abandoned ship and built something else? A lot of people think that we are totally crazy for going this far and should just buy a new vehicle. And I'm totally okay with people thinking that I'm crazy. It's happened for years. But I'm curious, what would you do? Leave us a comment.
Interesting little spot. Tricky for sure. Pass me that hammer, please, mate. Kind of the strategy here is just going around. And anywhere it's soft, we cut. Hear that? That's good.
I swear there will be cab left.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
break. So we're gonna go buy some metal. Turn that idle down. Man, this Land Cruiser has just been such a blessing. It's just such a cool daily, and really economical too. This is an awesome rig. Metal supermarkets. Let's go rob the scrap bin. What's up, Dawson? How you doing, bro?
Good.
Nice.
Today.
I kind of need to rob your scrap bin. I need some bits.
Yeah, go to town.
Bunch of rust repair to do.
Oh yeah, you tell me that. Crazy how that can happen so fast.
Well, it spent like 55 days in a container. Yeah, which was just kind of made everything that was there a lot worse. Rob, what's happening, dude? Oh, we haven't left yet.
You haven't?
No, we leave.
Another strip?
Yeah, well, that's perfect. It's already cut.
That's already.
Yeah.
You can even bend it so you can travel with it.
Yeah. Right. Bend it in half. All right, we got some 14, we got some 18, and we got some 20. Oh yeah, listen to the clackety, clackety, clackety. We got sheet metal and square tube. All right, another beautiful day on Vancouver Island. It is the sunny Arctic. It was so cold last night, the water froze, so good thing we filled up our kettle last night for coffee. Look at this, just frosty frozenness. All right, well, back to the grindstone, literally, and removing all the rust from this cab. It's like I found a cab in New Mexico and one in Denver that were like fairly rust free, but they still had a bit of rust. And it's like, okay, cool. I can get a cab for $1,000 somewhere else, but then I have to ship it and then probably still sandblast it. And how long is that going to take? And just spend a week repairing all the rust on this one. So let's go. There was a part of me that wanted to cut out the entire cab floor and build a new one from scratch. But I was led to believe that that would be a lot more work and probably wouldn't be as strong since I can't form the metal. I don't have a bead roller. Anyway, what we're doing will lead to a better final result, we believe, than making an entire floor from scratch. It'll probably end up being an equal amount of work, maybe even a bit less if we do it right. But we don't know exactly what's ahead yet until we keep cutting all this rust out. Oh, you're covered in grinding dust. What are you doing? There we go. All right, progress so far. We got lots of holes. Don't worry, I'm not scared, so you shouldn't be scared. So cold though. All right, so we basically cut this whole corner out. And I cut this entire lip off here. I'll show you what it's like on the other side still. So it's got this lip here, which honestly, with the fender on, it's just a bit of a trap for mud and rust. And I think a lot of the reason why some of these corner spots rusted out. So I've got this all smooth, and when I make a piece, I'm gonna make it so there's not going to be like a lip seam this way. It's just going to have like an angled piece over the corner here that'll weld in. This little spot is going to be an interesting piece of origami. And then we got the rocker cut out on both sides. And along here. So, despite it being absolutely frigid outside, I'm actually getting warm.
Not afraid of hard work around here. 2 hours in.
If you're enjoying this video, do us a favor and smash that like button and hit subscribe if you're not already. It's free and it really does help us out.
All right, we've been cutting for a few hours now. I got the second Java juice of the day. We need it. Things are getting a little crazy. This piece is going to be real interesting. This is quite structural here. And yeah, so I'm only keeping this shape so I can bend a piece around it. My plan here is to put a piece of 1x1 kind of right in this corner, run it all the way down, and then I'll plug weld it here. So I'll just drill a hole and then weld through, and then I can kind of form these pieces around that. This will actually get cut out. I'm just keeping it there so I know kind of what the shape looks like. Kind of want to have square, straight pieces to cut in because that'll just be easier. It's going pretty well. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have the experience to be as optimistic as I am. I've got to cut this little window out next. This guy right here looks fine from this side. A couple pinholes. Not so fine from this side. It's a double layered piece. A lot of this stuff is. So there's this piece that was actually just glued in, all formed and glued. There isn't actually any weld on it. It's all just seam sealer. But we're just gonna cut this little window out. I might try and save this formed bit if I can get the inner layer off, this part. Otherwise, just make another piece.
This is one of those projects that takes constant, conscious effort to stay motivated and even try and be excited about. Because it's hard work and it's not really that fun to cut out rust all day for days. Once we get on to the actual forming and making of pieces, I think I'll be a little more excited. We'll see. At this point, I'm still optimistic. That all might come crashing down.
Cut all this out.
How'd you make it so straight?
with my eyeballs.
People are gonna hire you to grind.
And then we got a big window right here.
What is that? What is that for?
That's where this was.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, another window. Oh.
Yeah, there's multiple windows.
Cool.
There's a big window down there too.
Oh yeah. Origami is gonna be the game.
That's it.
That window was a lot bigger.
Yeah, that one was a bit worse.
Mucho visibility.
Yep.
Cool. Wow. I almost see no rust.
Yeah, I can confidently say almost certainly that there's less rust. I know you didn't go anywhere, but we did. We just got back from 2 weeks in Johnson Valley. Road trip, epicness down to King of the Hammers. And I am finally working up the motivation to get back into the rust repair. I'll show you where we're at, even though you may already know. It's gonna be good. We got some new metal. We're gonna do some forming, we're gonna do some welding. Good stuff. I'm taking off this like rubberized, I don't know, insulation we'll call it, to make sure there's no rust hiding underneath. We're gonna replace it with kill mat and then probably some even thicker insulation. I want the cab to be super, super quiet. And I don't know if this was really doing much. I know they put it there to make the firewall fire retardant, but the kill mat that we put in will be just as good, if not better. Let's see your drawing. Nice.
Yeah.
Real easy shape to cut out.
Yeah, very.
Very weird little piece.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of weird pieces.
Oh heck, that's not bad.
I think I gotta go lower on here, unless this goes this way. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it's a little too small.
I just can't believe you got that formed angle in.
Yeah, I just wish I made it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like, right?
If you put the magnet and split the difference, you might
Yeah.
know that.
I think I can fill it with the brass behind it. The copper behind it or whatever. Just gotta fill in that hole in the bottom now. Hell yeah. That'll work pretty good. Just gotta fill that hole in. And then this whole complicated section.
This was one of those pieces, and there will be many, that I didn't think I was going to be able to make. But with a little creative thinking and some thoughtful bending and a little bit of time with some thin gauge welding wire, we made a pretty cool replacement piece for this section of the front. Next up is trying to form the pieces on the inside of the fender. And this is a part that nobody is going to see, but I'm going to know. And I want to take the time to do it right. I want to take the time to make these pieces fit not only as good as possible, but also look as factory as they can. I know it's not going to be straight out of, Toyota Japan looking that good, but it'll be to a higher standard than I've ever done before. And that's what gets me excited. That's why I want to go to this extra effort. So I know that I did the best that I could to make this as close to a pro job as I can. The original plan for the rockers changed when we realized the square tube that we had was going to leave a bigger gap between the rock slider and the new rocker panel. So, thanks to Jason's skill and use of the press brake, we're going to form up a new rocker. Now, it's not a complicated bend, but it is going to be difficult to align it and make it all look straight.
Dude, that looks unreal. Looks pretty freaking good considering there was no rocker there before.
There's a good old gutter there before.
Yeah, I'd say that's a lot better than a gutter.
Hopefully you guys can hear me over this battleship of a vehicle. We've got to go pick up some, what do we need? It's a long list. We need grinding discs, a bandsaw blade, bunch of consumables, and something very exciting, a major piece of the puzzle, a major piece of the drivetrain. No, it's not the engine, it is the other super exciting major thing, which you'll see very shortly. Progress has actually been really smooth. I'm stoked. Jay's got that wheel well almost finished. Mine's coming along nicely. And the 18 gauge sheet metal that we're using is really nice to form. I think I showed you those pieces that I was forming. I'm pretty happy with, so it's cool. I thought this was going to be a bigger monster than it is proving to be. So that's really good news. And I'm actually having a lot of fun doing it, which, obviously makes everything considerable amount better. gonna try and squeeze these two together. Ow. I welded right where my glove was. Well, in a stroke of very depressing bad luck, I have just uncovered the granddaddy of rust problems. I'll show you. This demon, hang on, there. It goes into the A-pillar cavity. It was covered up by a bunch of seam sealer. So it's all inside here. And I really don't know what to do about it because the piece from the inside would be really difficult to form, and I can't get a welder in there to like weld it from all angles. So I don't really know what to do. It seemed like the only option is to cut a giant gaping hole here and then try and fill it. I won't be able to make it look factory, but it's behind the fender, so you're not going to see it. Yeah. That one sucks. Okay, so we're gonna cut a little window, see how this goes. We're gonna cut this piece off here, which will hopefully give me access to fix the inside from the outside, and then I can weld this little window back on. All right, so we just whacked this piece in, which I bent and welded to kind of fit in there, which will solve part of the problem. We're getting there, sort of. It's kind of moment by moment, honestly, the plan here, because I don't really know what I'm doing or what's going to work best, but we're just trying to figure it out.
Okay. One more piece to the puzzle.
Back at it. These are the pieces that we've got to fix this mess. Let's see how it goes. Gonna do a little dry fit first and then pack it in. I just got to attach these two pieces, but this stuff is really thin, like very, very thin. So I'm gonna try and weld it. If not, well, then I'm gonna have to make a piece to go over it. But what I don't want to do is create another cavity that water can pool up in. So I'm trying to like stack all of the layers like from underneath, so, and then weld it from the back so the water can't, you know, get into the underneath one. I think you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna try and weld this up, and then we can put our little window back on. I believe that we conquered the behemoth, which is a pretty exciting accomplishment. I'm going to cover all the welds with a skim coat of metal reinforced body filler and then grind that down just to account for any pinholes, and then seam sealer on top of that. So I think we'll be pretty dummy proof, and then after that's done, we will weld in the window that we cut out. We're onto this other behemoth, but at least this one is available and right here, and I don't have to contort myself into the worst part of the cab.
Yeah, this one's fun too because you get to practice your forming again.
What's in front of me is very exciting. This is a very special unit right here. I believe this is the granddaddy, the unicorn, the top of Toyota transmissions and transfer cases. This gearbox and transfer case would have come behind a 2020 HZJ79. This particular transmission had only 10,000 kilometers on it, and we are very, very blessed to have picked this up from a friend, and it is awesome. Why is it so awesome? Well, we'll start with the transmission. This is an R151. So that means it has the ultra low first gear, and it's strong, and it's small. Compared to the H series transmission, which would have come behind the 60 series, the H55, or the H151 or 152 behind the 80 series, the R series is very smooth. I've driven both, and the H series feels a lot more tractor-like. The R series is also really strong. Our friend Ben has one behind his 2JZ that puts 380 horsepower to the wheels. So this is going to be plenty strong for what we're dealing with. The best part about this setup is behind the R151 is an 80 series split transfer case, which is amazing. This is the toughest transfer case that Toyota makes. I don't really think that is debatable, but we can call it my opinion if that makes you feel better. So this is beefy. This is stout. This is everything you want out of a transfer case. Big gears, big bearings, compact. Oftentimes you'll find this transfer case behind Cummins swaps when people put a 6BT into their 80 series. So we know this thing is tough. Not only that, it has an offset output for the rear, which means this is going to solve all of our weird drivetrain issues that you remember if you watched our engine video. This has an offset output, so our drive shaft is going to be perfectly in line with our transfer case. Our entire drive line will be offset, so if we're going through the snow, through the sand, any obstacles, our diffs are going to be perfectly in line, as they always have, with the drive shafts perfectly in line. This is goals. I'm so unbelievably excited to have this. It solves problems, it's super strong, it's got an ultra low first gear, it's basically brand new. We had a scope put into it, those little tiny cameras, and it's in awesome shape. To make things even better, we've got some brand new Land Cruiser shift boots. We're going to use the bell housing from the transmission that I'm sitting on, which is our old transmission. So the R150 bell housing will go here, which will adapt to our engine, which you will find out very soon what that will be. What else? Okay, this
this right here was an investment. We are going to be epoxy coating the entire cab, underside, and the chassis. We're going to use this entire gallon. So this is epoxy resin coating, undercoating, whatever you want to call it. Epoxy hardener, and this is epoxy primer. These two things here, it's like 750 bucks. That was a big ouch. But if you want the best, you got to pay for it. And in my opinion, and of all the restoration guys and bodywork guys that I've talked to, this is the best that you can buy. So that's what we're going for. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We are at the tail end of the rust repair, and that feels awesome because next up is going to be the really fun stuff. And the first fun stuff is New Zealand. By the time you're watching this video, we are already in New Zealand. We've already bought a truck and we're already driving it around the country. So stay tuned. That series is going to be epic. Absolutely epic. We've got some cool walk around videos coming of trucks that you've been asking about, waiting to see. The Chinook build stuff will resume when we're back from New Zealand, and it's gonna turn up. You guys are gonna flip out when you when you get to know what we're gonna be doing to this thing. Wanted to give you this tidbit. This is huge. It's actually not huge, but it's huge. So lots of cool things on the horizon for us. Thank you so much for being here. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you soon.